Hey everybody, this is Presto.
What?
Oh my god, and you're listening to episode 54 of the Nintendads podcast. Let's get straight to the cut. Let's get right into the biscuits, the brass tacks.
This is gonna talk about how my sweet, sultry, sexy voice and your grumpy, angry, sourpuss face.
This is we're dubbing this the sweet and sour episode because over the last couple weeks we've had a lot of news, a lot of developments, a lot of things tested in the wilds of the world, and some of it's pretty sweet and some of it kind of sucks. So we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about our feelings. We're going to talk about a lot of things. You can see, audio people, you can't see this, but Facebook people, you can see this. We have a lovely assortment of pretty random things above me that we are going to do. Here you are. It's more like it's 2 a.m. here. Welcome in, Tom. Glad to have you with us. Yeah, so, of course, we're going to kick things off. Thank you for the like. We're going to kick things off with, what are we playing? Corporal, you can tell me what you're playing first, because I'm going to share this all over the internet right now.
This particular episode is delayed by almost 30 minutes because I was too busy playing Genshin Impact. So that tells you enough right there. I am slowly becoming as addicted to Genshin Impact as I was with Breath of the Wild, Zelda. I like the art style. I like the mechanics. I like the gameplay. Even the grind isn't all that bad. I keep coming up to like different territories and areas where the combat is harder and the levels of the monsters are harder. So like it becomes challenging the wider I expand out. And I have only explored, I think it was like 30% of the entire map so far.
Mark,
so,
thank you for liking the stream. Welcome in. Yeah, it's a big map. It's a big map.
Welcome, Mark. Thank you.
And there's no mounts. There's no, like... I mean, you could fast travel, but, like, you still have to explore on foot first.
I mean, the gliding allows you to get certain areas pretty quickly. So that's
Yeah.
Will it come to the Switch, Tom? It's supposed to.
It's supposed to, but Hero says nah. Hero says it's never coming to the Switch because the install... The game is too unoptimized and it takes too much space that they will never crunch it down to be able to fit on the Switch.
To Hero's point, as much as I don't want to admit that he may be right, I tried to download the game on my phone and I almost need a separate phone with nothing on it just because of how much space it takes.
But people do play it on phone, and that's why I think it will come to Switch.
Yes.
Because some of it like default downloads like language packs. Like you probably have like an 8 gig Korean language pack that's just all the voice lines in Korean.
I mean, possibly.
So, what have I been playing? I've actually been playing a bunch of Pokemon Arceus, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Obviously, I feel like I got sucked back into Monster Hunter for a while. Hey, Melissa, welcome in. I got sucked back into Monster Hunter for a while, and then now I'm back on the Pokemon grind, getting there. I've also been playing Gun Raiders on the Quest, too, so Oculus VR. Gun Raiders is super fun. They keep releasing little updates and balance patches and tweaks, so I've been having fun with that. A little Monster Hunter here and there, obviously, always. And I've been enjoying a demo for a game that we're going to talk about.
Oh,
that's very fun. It's very fun. We'll talk about it. Anyway, what are you drinking
today?
What? Oh, is that orange soda?
Yeah. Who loves orange soda? I do.
Corporal loves orange soda. I got my big old tank of water. As always, I can't have anything else but water and coffee on a Monday.
Truthfully, starting tomorrow, I'm going to try to cut most of my soda intake out of my life because
Soda's gross. Soda. If you look at how much sugar is in soda, it is crazy. There is more. Like, you could have like a large piece of cake, and it would be significantly less sugar.
So there is 43 grams of sugar,
Oh,
and then there is an additional 85% added sugar in something else.
so it's 85% of your body's daily. Dom, what's up? Thank you for liking the stream.
Welcome.
80% of your recommended intake of sugar in
that
liquid
one
form
can.
that you're just goozling. Yeah, soda. I don't like soda, and I never like soda because I don't like carbonation, and I don't like things that are too sweet.
Oh, see, I love LaCroix. I could drink LaCroix religiously. Anybody who's seen my mini fridge, well, my regular fridge out in the garage, my secondary fridge, it's just wall.
It's LaCroix fridge. It's actually just a LaCroix. I've seen the pictures. I've seen documentation, and it's just literally LaCroix. Like, how are we not sponsored by LaCroix at this point? Or are we? And you just didn't. You didn't tell me. I'm glad you got Elden. Oh yes, Tom said. I'm glad you got Elden Ring on the graphic. I was going to ask what your thoughts. Don't answer now if you plan to talk about it. Oh, we plan to talk about it.
We will.
What do you call? What do you call poor Santa Claus? The SS Nicholas. That's nice. Brian, thank you for dropping to humor and like into streams. Yeah, let's just jump into it. So, the big news this week. Happy belated Pokemon Day. I have no Pokemon. Yo, Amanda, what's up? Welcome in. Thanks for liking the stream. Big news,
Amazing.
obviously, is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Gen 9 announced.
The biggest news that came out like yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday was Sunday.
I feel like it's been so long since yesterday.
I know, right?
It's a long Monday. Yes, so Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are confirmed, and they didn't. Jeremy, geez, as soon as I see chat, I see Elden Ring already being discussed. We haven't talked about Elden Ring yet. Tom was just asking if we were going to. And
we're getting to it. Don't worry, we will. We have to at least mention it, considering how big of a thing it's turned.
Oh yeah. But so they didn't explicitly say in the trailer for the new Pokemon that it was going to be open world, but in a tweet after the Pokemon Day Direct, they explicitly said, I think I have the tweet saved on my phone still, they explicitly said it's going to be an open world. What did they say? Okay. Welcome to the open world of Pokemon. Embark on an open world adventure into Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, arriving on Nintendo Switch late 2022. There it is, from Nintendo. My phone is not cooperating, but...
Do we believe them, though, is the question. Or is it going to be like in the last games?
No, it's going to be Arceus. It's going to be the Arceus. It's going to be like Arceus. It has to be. Because they didn't say Sword and Shield was open world. They said Arceus was open world. And so that's like the standard.
Okay.
It's gotta be.
We'll go with it.
I'm really hoping that Arceus was like the test of the open world. And then, because Arceus doesn't have a lot of things such as PvP, such as like a trainer, like gym, become the best type of thing. Arceus is its own special, wonderful thing, and we love it. But I think they're going to take the mechanics and all the experimental stuff from Arceus and put it into a mainland game, and that is going to be glorious. Glorious. I'm very surprised it's coming out so soon, though.
Yes, I was not expecting any new game to come out this year.
No, I was expecting it to be like just Arceus DLC or like a paid DLC thing.
So I said this on my Sunday stream, and I'm going to say this here. I believe Nintendo did not believe in Arceus. I think that Nintendo thought that Arceus was not going to do as well. I think, A, they didn't promote it well enough. They didn't talk about it. They didn't hype it up well enough. And the fact that they're swinging with this to also throw out another gen game this year, to me says that they didn't believe in Arceus and thought that it was going to be mediocre, approved by the fans, and that they were going to double down on Pokemon by releasing a second game this year. And they were surprised, humbly happy that Arceus did as well as it did and was received as well as it did. But in many ways, Arceus is a tech demo that they were like, we'll put this out there. They'll kind of like it. We know it's not spectacular, but hopefully they'll like the fact that we're also going to bring a second Pokemon game out this year. And the fact that they continued with their news cycle the way they had planned, I think almost confirms that idea.
I completely agree with that, because you're right. They didn't, compared to the amount of marketing that's normally behind Pokemon games,
Yes.
it was, Arceus. I think Arceus, they wanted to release it. If it does great, then we know the open world thing works. If it doesn't, we can just write it off as, oh, this is a one-off game. This was to test some stuff. But yeah, did you... clips looks like they were from Arceus. Yeah, I agree, except the textures didn't look like potatoes. Have I tried the new Arceus update? I guess I'm not all the way through the story yet, so I'm not like to the end game stuff. That's like, I have noticed that there's been more mass outbreaks since the update, but I have not gotten to any of the actual like update stuff. I haven't seen any of the new battles or new challenges or new end game stuff. I'm trying to not read too deeply into it because I haven't completed the game yet, and I don't want to get it. I don't want it to be spoiled. But yeah, I think you're right. I think everyone was surprised by how good Arceus was, because the demos and the trailers, I remember being like, this is going to be the game that they push that's going to have bad enough performance that it's really going to cause some trouble.
Ryan in chat, what country's capital is growing the fastest? Ireland. Every day it's Dublin.
Every day it's Dublin. Mountains aren't just funny, they're hill areas. Also revealed with the new Pokemon is, of course, the starters. The 3 new starters. Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley.
So normally we do side quests at the end of our episode, but surprise! I'm pulling side quest up. I want to know, of these 3 new starters that were announced, Sprigatito being the green cat, the leaf green cat, Cricchio being the fiery alligator, and Quaxley being the water duck. I want to just pull this up so I can.
So put this is a communal side quest. Put who you are going with as of right now. If the game was out today, which starter would you go with? Put it into chat. I already know which one I'm gonna go with. Although I'm a little bit conflicted, but I'm pretty set.
Hold on, I want to pull up Pokemon.
Are you trying to pull up the 3 starters?
The description video or picture that they released with it. They released a picture that explained the personalities of all 3.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't read that. Or
okay,
maybe I did.
The capricious, whatever, attention-seeking grass cat type Pokemon. There's the Fuecoco, which is the laid-back fire croc Pokemon that does things on its own pace. Or the earnest and tidy duckling Pokemon. So the duckling is water, the crocodile is fire, and the cat is grass.
Oh.
So the cat is capricious, attention-seeking. The fire crocodile is laid back and does things at his own pace. And the water duck is earnest and tidy. So they have personalities.
That's interesting. I don't ever remember them giving such very specific details about Pokemon's attitude.
thought that
Well,
was-
now I'm even a little more conflicted, but I'm still probably settled.
I'm still going to say that, like, I'm traditionally a fire guy. I'm a fire team from start to finish. My background is being a firefighter prior. Like, that's kind of like my thing anyway. I like things that burn. I like fire Pokemon. Charmander is like some of my favorite Pokemon, period. So, and the fact that he is laid back and does things at his own pace, I mean, it's me. It's me. I'm the fiery crocodile.
Tom's with you. He said fire. Jeremy said, "What is a stormtrooper's favorite store?" I don't know.
Don't know.
Brian says Quaxley. He really fits the bill for a good starter. Oh, the one next to Target. I appreciate that.
Sure. That's good.
I am going to opt for Sprigatito.
The attention-seeking cat.
Weed cat. He's Weed Cat. That's what he is. He's Weed Cat. That's what he looks like. That's the joke. That's all. That's there's so many memes. Look it up. Look it up.
I'm not doubting you.
Look at his face.
See it. How do you know it's a he? It looks very she-like.
She, whatever. It's a Pokemon.
Why are you trying to assume its gender, bro?
Wait a minute. Weed Cat. Yeah, Brian, have you not? Have you not seen this? Hold on.
No, it's not going to.
Hold on. We have the technology. I typed in the name and it corrected it to spaghetti on Google.
Spaghetti.
Let's try it. Pokemon Sprigatito. There we go.
Sprigatito. Yeah. Just pull up the. Can I send you this image? I'll send you this image. You can just put this image on stream.
The cat should be the chilled one who takes things at his own pace. Yeah. Okay, so this is... Hold on. Can I drop it right in? No, of course not. Of course not. Copy and...
I sent you an image in the Nintendads chat.
I cannot open that. Because if I open it, our video is gonna disappear.
Oh. Well, that's not fun.
No, you guys know. Hold on, I can save it. Actually, that's not working either. My computer is very limited in what. Yes, I want to answer to Weed Cat. That one is high on my list. Brian, you are too good. You are too good with these on the fly, and I'm mad that I'm not thinking of them. Anyway, so yes, the grass cat is what I'm going for. Corporal, I really thought you were going to be in it for Quaxley. Because the duck.
I mean, sure.
I thought that was going to be it. I'm like, he normally goes for the fire one, but he's definitely going for the duck. Quaxley, that's you. You are a duck. Also, I have to say that Fuecoco looks exactly like the guy from Bust-A-Move / Bubble Bobble.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god, yeah. Our chat is devolving. Only if you feed him catnip, sometimes you just gotta be blunt.
I can't make the post and share the image in our group thing while I'm on the... I don't
Exactly.
Facebook.
Anyway, you guys know, everybody in chat knows what they look like. So, the grass cat and the fire Pokemon actually have a very close relationship. They work together. I'm done. I'm out. So, this is less on the nose, but so every Pokemon game that they come out with is loosely based on a geographical area. So, like, the Alolan region was, like, very clearly Hawaii, right? Hawaii or islands. They've done different places in the past, but the new one is going to be, the region is going to be inspired by Spain. And if you watch the trailer, there's a lot of Spanish architecture. The town and the world looks very Spain-inspired. Spain is the most biodiverse place in Europe, so they have the only true high desert. They have lots of beach and coastal areas, so I think this will be interesting. And also, Sprigatito fue coco. It's very, like, Spanish sounding. So, I'm curious. I'm excited for it, especially because it's going to be open world following Arceus. And it's supposed to be here in late 2022, so we'll just call that holiday, right? It's going to be a holiday release. Yeah. Based on how Arceus did, I think they're going to crush it. Like that, it's going to be such a crazy big holiday seller.
You think?
Yeah, and I'm just so surprised that that's how they announced it. Like, just the timing and the fact that it was like a one more thing. Jessica, thank you for liking the stream. The fact that it was like a one more thing at the end of a Pokemon Direct instead of like the first thing in a main Pokemon Direct, it just felt I was very caught off guard, and maybe that was the point.
Maybe that was the point. I mean,
so,
yeah, probably.
So I'm excited about it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna play it. We're gonna stream it. It's gonna be snazzy. So that was the first sweet item. Pretty much all good things about that. The second item is Bad News Bears. Seeing you play Arceus made me want to get it, and I'm not a Pokemon fan. Really? See, I moderately enjoyed Sword and Shield. Corporal loved Sword and Shield.
I don't want to say I loved Sword and Shield.
It's like your most played game on the Switch.
I mean, that's true, but that's also because I put stupid amounts of hours into collecting everything I possibly could.
Well, you liked Sword and Shield better than I did.
Yes,
I think that's safe to say. But yeah, Arceus, Nintendo needs to give us like referral codes so that we can be like, look how many people got it because we streamed it. So what are you trying to figure out? I see your brain.
I'm trying to remove the picture or aerial photos. Here we go. I'm adding the picture that I desktop.
Corporal's not a master of multitasking.
Not at all. Save.
Legit, I bought it because of you mofos. Yes. I mean, I'm gonna end up buying a drop mix because of you, so we'll call that even. We still need to play Monster Hunter. Let's get it. Okay. So, do you know? So Evo, this requires some back.
I'm going to allow Presto to talk exclusively about this Evo subject. He's the one who has the most information about it. I will front load you all by saying it revolves around Super Smash, and therefore I don't care. Go ahead.
So Evo is the fighting game championship deal. It's like the most illustrious, most important fighting game thing. Smash has always been an integral part of it since they brought it into the rotation in 2007. Nintendo put up a bit of a fuss of it being a part of Evo, and it has been since then. So for the last 10 years, Smash, I think every year, has been a part of Evo. And it's been a popular game. It's got a lot of high viewership. Melee, and then whatever the new game is. So, Evo announced via tweet, specifically saying, hey, we're about to reveal this game's lineup, because they don't feature every game every year. They kind of rotate things to incorporate new games. And they said...
Okay, sorry, I was slightly distracted. The Pokemon, 3 starter Pokemon that I just described, including their personalities, their height, their weight, their ability, and their type, is all on our Facebook page. I put the picture up. So
yay!
Sorry, go ahead.
So Evo tweeted, Smash is not going to be at Evo this year, and Nintendo has decided... I'm going to read the tweet, because I don't want to get this wrong. But basically saying that at the decision of Nintendo, Smash will not be a part of Evo this year. Let's see. I want to read exactly what they say. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing everybody in Las Vegas. We want to let you know in advance that Super Smash Bros. Will not be making a return appearance. Since 2007, we've seen historic Super Smash Bros. Moments created at EVO's events. We are saddened that Nintendo has chosen not to continue that legacy with us this year. In the future, we hope again to once again celebrate Super Smash Bros. Community alongside them. So this was Nintendo's call, and I think there's two big reasons why this is the case. Three big reasons. The first reason is that Nintendo hates the Smash community, which is not really a secret. Hashtag free melee. I think they ain't got any more shit to sell. DLC for Smash Ultimate is done. There's no more characters. There's no more news. It is what it is. So I think, in true Nintendo fashion, if there's no short-term gains to be made by them being a part of a community event, they're not going to be. But the other potentially bigger reason is that Sony now owns EVO. Sony bought EVO. So EVO is now a Sony event. And Nintendo... I watched a video by Maximilian Dude, and he thinks Nintendo's attitude is very much like, why are we going to give you the ability to use our game, our characters, our intellectual property to promote your event that's owned by a competitor, basically.
Sure.
I think it's also because they don't have any more stuff to sell. If there was a new DLC pack, if there was a new Smash, you bet that Smash would be a part of it, but it's not. So, and them announcing that Smash isn't going to be at EVO was like 12 hours before the Pokemon announcement. And some people even said, oh, Nintendo did something really crappy to the competitive Smash community. Like, something's getting announced, because they always cover up bad news with good news.
Yep.
So, no Smash at Evo at the direction of
Jessica!
Nintendo.
Jesse, thank you for noticing my beautiful haircut. I did. I got it done on Saturday.
Oh, God. Did you just refer to your hair getting done? You got your hair done?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, it was an experience. I happened to go into... I was took Jacob, Little Red, to a birthday party, and while he was at the birthday party, I went and got my hair cut. And the only place I could find in the entire town was a very, very, deep Spanish hair salon. And,
nice.
I could not understand half of what anybody was saying. The music was pumping so loud I could feel it in my chest. None of the music was in English. Everybody had gold chains and big thick glasses, and two of the guys had giant mullets, and other guys were covered in tattoos. It was an experience.
That's amazing.
And no lie, to cut my hair it took them 47 minutes.
What? Wow. I mean, it looks good.
From the moment I sat at the chair, I sent Liz a text, Lady Sage, and I was like, okay, we're starting. I gotta go. And then when I got done, I sent her another message saying, all right, I finally left.
Little Red's like, the party's been over for an hour, Daddy. Where have you been?
Took them forever to cut my hair. But, hey, it looks good, so whatever.
Yeah. So, no Smash at EVO. What are your thoughts?
I personally think the entire EVO thing is going downhill, personally. I think there's been a whole lot of controversy around most of what happens at that event, whether it's game related or the individual players related or the event itself being orchestrated or championship funds or what have you. I think it's a dying stage. I am not surprised by Nintendo's stance. I'm even more not surprised because it has to do with PlayStation. Like, you could
Yeah.
remove PlayStation from the equation, I wouldn't have been surprised. It's Nintendo.
Yeah.
They keep their properties very close to the chest. So this doesn't surprise me. I quite frankly have very little to say beyond that. I think that Super Smash, particularly Super Smash Ultimate, should have done better if they wanted their game to be placed on that high of a platform for championship fighting games. And the fact that they didn't, and I'm more or less referring to their netcode problems, I think the fact that they didn't, that game as a championship thing should be held separately from all things differently because of that being a problem. And therefore, it splinters itself as not being on par quality with fighting games that are in that genre today.
Yeah. Well, I think Evo is going to be in person this year. Last
Oh,
that they did Evo online, and Nintendo was
last year,
like,
yeah.
no, you can't do it online. No, you're not going to embarrass us like that. The other
So,
piece, the other piece of the puzzle you just reminded me of, talking about like championship series, is they have partnered with Panda Global to do the first officially licensed Nintendo Super Smash Brothers. How did they describe it? It's a short series or a short circuit. Not short circuit, that's a movie and a term for electronics, but a short series. So it's going to be like maybe half a dozen big events that are tournaments. So them doing something with Panda also might, that also might be a reason why they're not doing Evo.
I think that Super Smash franchise has reached the best it can do as far as content, but I feel like
Ooh, I hope not.
I think that they have. I
I
I think
hope
that they're
not.
just. I
It's all
think that they're
downhill
just
from here.
done. Yeah, and quite frankly, they need to do better for their online platform, particularly for that game, if they want to be able to compete with most of the newer games that are coming out. I think
Yeah,
the franchise is at its pinnacle, and that's
yeah.
sad to say.
As sad as it makes me to say that, I do very much agree. I mean, I'm not really a part of the scene anymore. I have no interest in doing tournaments and stuff like that. Partially because things that have happened in the community, partially mainly because the direction that Ultimate took with balancing and the lack of online support, and then just Nintendo's absolutely like relentless determination to do really mean things to the community. I'm biting my tongue so hard to not say a lot of curses, but
Eh,
yeah, Nintendo, shame on you for yanking the carpet out underneath the competitive community again the second that it doesn't serve you and your ability to profit off of them. So, um okay, back to sweet. Well, this next one's kind of sweet and sour.
Yeah,
So, the this was last weekend. They Nintendo offered the Nintendo Switch Sports demo. So uh this is the new motion control sort of sequel to Wii Sports. Corporal tried to stream it, and I was like getting ready. I was in the chat, only to realize that it was like only for like an hour or two a day at very
it wasn't
specific weird
don't
times.
do not even give them that type of grace. I'm almost ashamed that you patted them on the back the way you just did. I am going to pull up my post from that day because I am salty about it. Are you ready? It is exactly 45 minutes.
It was
It was
45 minutes for
it
the
was
first day?
only on Friday, February 18th. It was a solo stream that I was going to do, and you weren't available because you were out of town. And it was only available at 10 p.m. to 10:45 p.m.
Oh, why?
Fight
Californians,
me.
Californians.
Bite me, Nintendo.
West Coast. And then you did get to try it at another time though, right? No?
I tried again. Now, Friday night, my stream ended because we did Pokemon instead because things went the way they went. And Saturday, I was horrifically sick and could not get out of bed.
That's right.
I attempted to, like, through me hugging the porcelain toilet and praying to the water gods that I was going to get through this. I tried to turn the switch on and get on, but the servers were filled, so I couldn't actually get in. And then the next opportunity when I finally did feel good was on Sunday, but it was only available at 3 in the morning Pacific time. So that's 3 hours forward. That's
what?
It was 6 in the morning.
What?
6 in the morning Sunday. I've got the timestamps right here for
why?
At 6 in the morning on Sunday to 6:45 in the morning on Sunday. It was
why would they do that?
Only available for 45 minutes on Sunday.
Maybe they intentionally put it at weird times to like alleviate the stress on the servers.
I'm sorry, maybe. And maybe they also did it that way so that like people in different time zones throughout the world could gain access to it. But like
3 in the morning West Coast time is not a good time for anybody.
I don't know.
So I guess I had a slightly better experience.
So on Saturday, the day that I couldn't get on, there were 3 time slots that were available for people to try.
I got in that Friday night.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes.
So you got in late then at that 10 o'clock window.
So I booted it up.
Myself was going to bed by that point.
I booted it up, and I did my thing, and I was like, and I looked, and it was like, I think it was bowling, badminton, maybe. It was a bunch of different things, but you could not choose the one you wanted to play. You could only choose random. And you couldn't play with friends either. You could only play with random people online, a random sport. And I saw they had the sword fighting. And the sword fighting is called Chambara. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's the only one I care about. That's the only one I want to play. I just want to try Chambara. I go to random. Disconnected. Go to random. Can't connect to server. Go to random. Opponent disconnected. Go to random. Cannot find a session. And like probably like the 10th time, I'm starting to get ready to be like, I'm getting ready to call it quits. And then I get in. And what do I get? Chambara. So I get in, and it takes me through the little basic tutorial. So essentially, it's sword fighting. You're sword fighting an opponent with motion controls. And you basically have to block perpendicular to how your opponent is striking. So if your opponent is striking at you going up and down, you have to block horizontal. If your opponent is striking diagonally from the right, you have to block the perpendicular way. Like, kind of, you just have to basically exactly counteract.
So, in other words, it was very much like Ninjala.
Not really, like a little, but no. I mean, I see what you're saying. Like aesthetics of like that is sort of like Ninjala.
It was because Ninjala, if I'm remembering the game correctly, it was very much a rock paper scissors output style.
Yes, but this is with motion controls in real time. It's not like block right, block left. This is like you have the controller. And you see your opponent go to the right, and then you have to go to the right. Like, it's not like you make a decision, I make a decision, we see how it plays out. It's like real-time combat.
Okay.
So, if you're blocking with your sword like this, right? Make sure this is shut so I don't pour water all over myself. If you're blocking like this, and I strike at you like this, going parallel with your sword, I will hit you, and you will get knocked back. If you attack me and I block correctly, you get stunned. So you can't just attack. If you attack and you get blocked, your character gets dazed and your opponent gets some free hits in. If you attack going parallel with where they're blocking, you can get a hit in. So it's very interesting. On top of that, you get to choose one of 3 swords. You have the basic sword, you have a charge sword, and you have dual blades that you do with 2 controllers. And
Why
I was
wouldn't
like,
you just always do dual blades? Because then you have the ability to strike.
because they're weak. They're weaker strikes.
So
So you're on, you and your opponent are on a big round platform, and it doesn't matter how many times you hit or get hit. Every time you get hit, you get pushed back. Every time you get hit, you get pushed back, and then you have to push your opponent out of the ring, out of the circle, and then you fall into like a pool of water. So the charge blade charges every time you block an attack, it gains power, and then I think after like 3 blocks, you can like unleash it and it like does a big hit. I played with the regular sword. I won, and it was very fun. And I was like, this is awesome. And I only got to play the 1 round because then the servers were completely Tostitos.
Okay.
I will say I'm about to violate the rules, because after this I said, oh, and I got my victory and I recorded it, and then I went to go share it to Twitter, and it said, oh, this game, something to the extent of you can't share pictures or video from this title at this time.
So that was another thing. While on my Friday night stream, I had the stream up and running of me playing the game. I got streamed of me logging in, of me creating my character, which was really just choosing one of the random characters you could choose from, and typing in my name. And that was it. And then I was trying to figure out how to play, and I couldn't. I went to the website trying to figure out what was wrong, and in the process of going through all that is when I learned that not only are there time restrictions on there, but it literally says you're not allowed to share or talk about on any social media platform your experience with this particular tech demo. And I was like, I'm streaming this right now, and I'm like,
as you're reading it,
I'm reading it on stream out loud, and I'm like, so I immediately go to the Facebook's page, Nintendads dashboard, hit edit stream, change the game, change the title, change the description, and then switch games.
So that's bullshit. You can't have a demo in 2022 for your game and be like, you can play it for these 45 minutes, but you can't talk about it. Nintendo.
45 minutes at 10 p.m. or at 6 a.m. It's a secret nobody should know about. Like, come on, Nintendo.
And the fact that the servers were completely non-functional on fire. And I think they knew that maybe this was premature, and that's why, like, you can't talk about it, because we don't want all these people shit-talking our online service. But that's what we're doing right now. I'm sorry. It's our job as a Nintendads to report to you the good, bad, and the ugly. And this test demo was ugly, except for when I got that win. That was pretty fun.
So the other thing that like irked me about this was that particular day, this was before my haircut. I had taken all of my hair, I gelled it up, I moosed it, I gave myself this big, gigantic like mohawk, and I put on like a sports jersey shirt, and like I went up to my room here to do my stream, like thinking I'm all cool, and here I am reading that I'm not allowed to be doing any of this. So like, and I'm looking, I just scrolled through our Facebook page's history. I can see it shows the Nintendo Switch Sports Online playtest, and like I still think that maybe I should delete this particular.
Should I show my replay of my Chumbara match, or are we gonna get in trouble?
I don't know. I have no idea.
What do you think? Should I do it? It's right there. Uh-oh. Should I do it? Chat, what do you think? Do you guys want to see it?
Does anybody care?
Are we going to get Nintendo Ninja'd? Are we going to jail? I'll wait. If one person in chat wants to see it, I will show it. Otherwise, I'm going to stay out of prison. So yeah, the 2 minutes of gameplay that I got were pretty fun. But if the servers are going to be a preschool project, and they're going to continue to suppress people's ability to discuss it, I'm not going to get it on principle.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that fun. There's other good games coming out. I don't need that
There's
BS.
a lot of good games that are on our list, and I feel like at some point one of our episodes side quests should be let's list the games that are coming that we're excited
Oh
about.
God, I'm gonna need to make a calendar or a timeline of like now through the holiday, because now I'm getting a little bit uncomfortable with the amount of games that are coming out, because Sunbreak and Splatoon 3 are coming out in the summer. I already have talked at length about my feelings about my two most anticipated games of this year coming out in the same quarter. Now we have Pokemon coming out in the fall. So best case scenario, Sunbreak comes out early summer, Splatoon 3 comes out late summer, but now that's even extra screwed up because then, well, I guess they said late 2022, so that's holiday season, so that's winter technically. I don't know, it's gonna be jammed, it's gonna be real jammed. Anyway, moving on. Something sweet, the Capcom Fighting Collection is coming to the Switch,
which is cool. That's about all I have to say about that.
it's cool, but you know it's got the word fighting in it, so I have a lot more to say, but I'll keep it brief. So this is like a lot of Capcom fighting games that I've never heard of. Darksiders, a bunch of weird like things where you can play like as animals, as robots. Looks pretty fun. Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting Edition, I think. So it's basically just a collection. I think it's like 8 Capcom fighting games that previously haven't been released, I think, outside of like arcades. But they're gonna have rollback netcode. Whoa, yes. Street Fighter 2 with rollback netcode is already pretty cool. If the 30th anniversary, Corporal's so bored. If the 30th anniversary Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection with Third Strike and stuff had rollback netcode, I would be playing that all the time. But it doesn't, so I don't. But that's exciting. Related to that is Street Fighter 6 was announced. Did you watch this trailer?
No.
It's just Ryu, and he's like really wide. He's like the whole frame. He's wider than a man ought to be. He's like his shoulders are like this far apart. Like straight up just like, but then his head is like a normal size. It's weird.
Oh, gosh.
It looks like they stretched the aspect ratio, and they shouldn't have. They also showed the last character that was released in Street Fighter V, fighting Ryu, with different art styles, so you might be able to choose your groove, meaning you might be able to choose when you're playing if you want Street Fighter V mechanics, so like V-trigger, Street Fighter like Third Strike, parry system, Street Fighter 4 mechanics, like you might have some weird option. There's something there. The trailer was intentional enough. It's super vague, but it was intentional enough in the art decisions that they made for like a 30-second trailer that it has some sort of message in there that there's going to be different styles that you can play as. And I'm really hoping that they learned from Street Fighter V about all their mistakes, about watering things down, about shitty netcode, about delay. Like, I still have faith in Street Fighter and Capcom to pull 6 out and make it good. I mean, if they're releasing a random bunch of arcade games in a fighting game collection with rollback netcode, Street Fighter 6 will have rollback netcode. I will bet money that it has rollback netcode. You want to bet? You want to play some bets? You want to bet some money? Who wants to lose some money?
5 cents.
5 cents?
I'm going to do to you what Lady Sage did to Little Red and Lubug, and if you do a chore, I'll give you $1 value, and most of your chores are worth a penny. Let's go.
Okay, 5 cents. I'll do 5 cents. With compounding interest, so by the time Street Fighter comes out, it'll be like $30,000.
Compounding interest.
You announced this one because I've just been gushing about fighting game stuff.
You mean the last bit of Nintendo news?
That's the one.
Nintendo acquiring Systems Research Development, the RSD company.
Riveting. Yes.
Truthfully, I don't know what this means.
It's like an independent developer shop that has helped them code multiple games. So in game development, they'll bring in outside studios, freelancers, different resources to help finish a game. And Systems Research and Development worked on Mario Brothers. There's no like definitive thing because it's more of a behind the scenes thing. But they worked on almost every Zelda game, which is very interesting. So there actually might be hope of Breath of the Wild coming out too before we die. They worked on Ring Fit Adventure. They helped with New Horizons. So I don't think this means anything other than Nintendo's like, oh, it's acquisition season. You guys are buying up all these developers. We're going to buy this person who we've been working with for the last, 35 years that we probably should have bought 25 years ago.
Okay.
So they bought them. I'm really not sure why. I mean, this means a new Animal Crossing? Maybe I don't know. If you want to really read into it, it could mean that the games that they have played a pivotal part in developing means that we're going to get more of those games. So more Animal Crossing, more Zelda. I mean, they have to be making another Animal Crossing. New Horizons, blew the lid off the planet Earth. And yeah, I think they're working on a new Zelda. I'm really not sure at this point. I can't say for sure.
Considering we haven't heard a damn thing.
No. So it's weird because we really haven't heard anything about Splatoon 3 either, but we've almost heard the same amount about both games, which is ridiculous.
Sad.
No matter how you look at it, it's just what the hell? All right. Outside of the world of Nintendo, Elden Ring reigns supreme. All other games have been shut down in favor of Elden Ring hype.
So I have to ask.
Ask it.
And this has been debated since the moment this IGN gave this 10 out of 10 score.
All the 10s.
Elden Ring sits at 10 out of 10 as a game amongst some of the absolute greats of all time.
And they got 10 out of 10 from, a lot of outlets.
Yeah. So I haven't played the game, but chat, Jeremy and Brian,
Tom and Tom.
Tell us now if you play Elden Ring, if it's a game that you're interested in, whether or not you think it deserves that 10 out of 10 rating. What more thoughts do you have on this? Because I don't know if it really does deserve it. Maybe it deserves it.
From what I've heard, it sounds like it does. But here's the catch, right? Because if we were talking about any other game, and it was universally praised 10 out of 10, and it's an open world game, and it's an RPG, I would already be eyeballs deep into it. However, this is a game made by From Software, who makes Dark Souls. That's what they do, is they make Dark Souls and Souls-like games, meaning Bloodborne, Sekiro, and then all the Dark Souls series. And Souls-like is just kind of this term that they've come to where it's known for sort of 2 or 3 very distinct traits. One, that it's grossly, unforgivingly, blisteringly, blatantly, hardcore, sandpaper, toilet paper hard. Just some of the hardest games out there. But they're fair, and they are very much reliant on your ability to master the combat. and the combat is like a crazy, more serious version of Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter took inspiration for its combat from Dark Souls, in that
Okay.
when you hit swing, when you hit attack, you attack and you are locked into that animation, and there's no canceling that animation. You've made the decision to attack now. I hope you chose the right time, because if you didn't, you are going to get punched in the mouth and
Okay.
potentially die. Very tight windows for rolling out of the way. Some of the most complex, unpredictable boss fights. And basically the entire series revolves around you getting your head stomped in until you've learned the bosses or the enemies, and being able to nearly perfectly execute your attack or strategy to win. And Elden Ring is the open world version of Dark Souls. So that's it.
So it's hard.
I don't know if you can just say it's hard. I think that's underselling it.
Okay. I mean, that's what I've gotten from it, is that it's brutal, it's difficult, it's challenging. It's
challenging, but it's open world, so they're saying that it's more accessible and beginner friendly, because in Dark Souls, you go and there's the first enemy, and that first enemy, if you've never played Dark Souls before, that first enemy is going to kill you 10 times. And at time number 7, some people are going to go, screw this game, I give up. In Elden Ring, it's open world. That first enemy kicks your ass, you go in another direction. And eventually, like, you're going to have to learn to fight and, like, do stuff and beat bosses to progress. But it's more accessible in that you're not in a hallway and you have to fight this one guy to continue. And that's the only thing you can do. You can go die over here. You can go die over there. You can die so many times over there. So that in the game is drop dead gorgeous. The open world map is super densely packed with content. Brian said, I just can't with Elden Ring. I've watched it. It's gorgeous, but I can't buy in.
Oh, you can't buy in.
I am I'm on the fence. I'm considering getting it, but I understand that this is a long, long, difficult game that's going to take serious time and commitment to learn and play, especially because I've never played a Souls game before. So I'm curious, and I would love to play it casually, but it's a game that you almost can't play casually because you're not going to make any headway. Like, this isn't a game like Monster Hunter I could play, I could put it down for a week, I can come back to it, I can sort of pick it back up. Elden Ring is like, you have to play it for a couple hours just to, like, get the nuances of combat, and then if you stop playing, I'm assuming that you're gonna have to sort of do a relearning, reacclimation phase.
I'm not the first person to say this. This was on a TikTok, and I'm sure it was on an Instagram post before that, and I'm sure somewhere throughout history somebody else has said this, but I strongly believe that every video game should have a parent mode, or like a dad mode, or mom mode, or like whatever, or a vacation mode, or what have you, that when you log back in, it's like, you haven't logged in X amount of days. Let's recap. So this is the story so far up to this point. These are the controls that you've learned. You need to make sure you're going to go do this. Okay, now you can go. And like, maybe it gives you a little bit more than just that, but like, it should give you something.
Yeah, a resume. You haven't. Yeah, I've heard that before. I think we've talked about that before.
I love about the Witcher series is that the Witcher series, as you progress through the Witcher series, there are small cutscenes. There are small cutscenes that like give you information about where in the story in the world that you are. When you turn on Witcher again from the last time, you can just sit there and let the world load. And at some point, it'll be like, okay, do you want to skip from this point or not? But while it loads, all of those cutscenes are playing as a part of the load screen.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can relearn what that backstory was that you have progressed through based off of those tiny little cutscenes that you have already witnessed. so you can get yourself reacclimated with the story. Or if you've allowed the game to load enough and you remember, you can just hit the button and then skip to the actual gameplay. So, like, at the very least, I think a game should do that.
Yeah. Brian said, "Dad mode. Monsters taunt you with dad jokes after you die." So I like I'm finding in my ripe old age, the older I get, the more I appreciate like traditional RPG elements, and the character building and leveling up in Elden Ring is very much like bare bones D&D style. You have intelligence, dexterity, strength. They all affect your character in the ways that you would expect. And when you level up, you choose a class and you get base stats starting in one direction or the other. But as you level up, you get to manually assign points. And then you find scrolls and weapons, and you can only use certain scrolls to learn spells or certain types of weapons if you have stats that match that. So it's not like you learn new abilities. You level up your character based on what kind of role you want to play, and then you scavenge and find things in the world that you can use based on how you've built your character. That is very interesting to me. And the combat, I wish there was a demo, because I feel like when I first started playing Monster Hunter, everybody's first interpretation of Monster Hunter is, oh, you really have to like commit to these hits and like swings, and like the combat kind of feels like, I don't know about it. But then once you learn it, it's like, oh, this is beautiful. This is like a dance. It feels so good to be able to know what I can do and have my options, and like it's so satisfying. And I feel like if I were to get into Elden Ring, I would probably have a similar experience with the combat. But it's such a dense, deep, difficult game that's going to require a lot of time and effort, and I don't know if I want to get sucked in. I'm not through Pokemon. I'm still playing Monster Hunter. And then a lot of games are going to come out soon that I'm going to want to play. I don't know. If I get Elden Ring, it's going to be like, this is the game that I'm going to get to hold me off until Sunbreak. But then we have Mario Strikers coming out. And then we have, I don't remember when Switch, but there's like a lot of games coming out, and I don't want to dive into Elden Ring. I'm scared. I'm afraid it's going to suck me in. Either that, or I'm going to play it and I'm just going to get really mad. I'm going to be like, this is stupid. I'm not a Dark Souls player.
Any game, like, I love GTA. I love games with rich, deep, long stories that really draw you in. Breath of the Wild. The beautiful thing that separates Breath of the Wild and things like GTA is that, and GTA, is that you can play those games and not play the story. You can just run around the world and just like explore and do things. Things like Halo, like, they're very linear based stories, and if you don't have enough time to sit there and go through them all, like, coming back to them after a long like stint can be almost daunting. So, like, go back to my dad mode thing, like, I wish I had something that would give you that backstory. But things like Dark Souls, where like it takes time, it takes effort to learn those nuances, as well as to learn that combat style, like, if you're not practicing that and you come back to it, you're gonna get killed easily, which will make coming back to that game frustrating. And I feel like that's going to be the reason why I wouldn't buy a game like that, because it almost requires too much of my time.
Yeah, and I think I'm sort of in the same boat. The good news is the story, so you can definitely just go off and do your own thing, like, basically forever in Elden Ring. The story is extremely, and this is like a Dark Souls theme that I've heard about, is that the story is very ambiguous. It's very cryptic. It's not clear what's going on. Like, you really have to put the pieces together yourself. So, like, it's not like there's a set story, and then if you walk away, you're gonna be like, I forget what I have, because you're really never going to have a great idea of what's going on to begin with.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do everything in order. Like, everyone who I've seen doing reviews about Elden Ring is like, oh, Elden Ring, you can skip a lot of the bosses. You can skip a lot of the dungeons. You can find your own way in and out of areas. If you can beat this enemy or figure out how to get around this obstacle, you can bypass this whole section. You're not going to learn about what happens in that part of the story, but you don't have to do it. Nothing is really like, I mean, there's certain things that I'm sure are mandatory, but like, there's a lot of the game you can just play it kind of on your own terms and how you want.
Okay.
Which is intriguing to me. It's interesting. Yeah. I want to try it. I don't, because here's the thing. If it was like Elden Ring, free-to-play weekend, I would dive in. But, and then I would sort of feel like, well, I can like it or I can not like it. But if I buy a game at full price, I am mentally committing myself to that. And I will take that game seriously, and I will get frustrated if I can't make progress, and I will not want to put it down because I feel like I need to get my money's worth out of it.
And we just go back to...
And no, you can't rent it from your library because it's not that kind of game.
What's the game that's the Witcher company like screwed up?
Oh, Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you got full tilt into Cyberpunk and then felt super disappointed by it.
I mean, I did enjoy Cyberpunk. I actually tried to go back and play some Cyberpunk recently, and it's very much the same thing. I have no idea what's going on. I don't remember the systems. But they did a big update to Cyberpunk, and I actually want to go back in and finish it at some point, because I still think it's a really cool game. They absolutely oversold it and underperformed and all that. You know, that's been beaten to death. But, yeah. I want to try. I just want to try Elden Ring. That's it. I need to find somebody that I can visit that has it, that will just let me play the first, 3 hours, and then I can make a decision based off of that. Cham is doing an Elden Ring stream right now with a death counter on his thing, and his star rewards are, for 1,000 stars, you can make him dance, and he has to put down the controller and dance, and, if anybody does that at any point during any combat, he's absolutely dead. Dead as a doornail. So that's fun. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Wrapping things up, the Neon White demo is out.
Yes. And this is a game that we've talked about a lot because of the...
It's been in 3 indie directs, I think.
Yes.
And we've gotten no real news or release window or anything. It's so fun. It's really fun.
You played the demo.
I played the demo.
I even think that we played...
I streamed a little bit of it on Friday at the tail end of our stream. So you can go back and watch that if you want to see some of the gameplay. But it's basically a parkour game where you have to get to the beginning and the end. And you have to kill all the enemies on the way. And it's a first-person thing. So you have to, jump. But you also get cards. And the cards have weapons. So you get a handgun card, and you have 8 bullets, and you can shoot the enemies. Or you can discard the card for a movement ability that's associated with that. So the handgun, you get a double jump. The rifle... you get a dash forward. The machine gun, you throw a little bomb, and it will, propel you upwards. So you have to basically use your cards tactically for either combat or movement. And some of the levels are very, linear, but other ones, they really encourage you to play them through multiple times and figure out shortcuts and figure out creative ways to kill the enemies and get there as soon as possible. Because the faster you get, it's a speedrunning game. The faster you get to the exit, the more points you get. And then it's got Steve Bloom, the voice of Spike Spiegel and Cowboy Bebop, and Tom, the robot from Toonami, voices the main character. And I didn't know that. And I started playing, and I
Really?
was like, "Oh, that's Steve Bloom! Oh, I'm getting this game." And yeah, so it's very well written. It's got sort of dating sim elements straight out of Hades.
So I'll be honest with you. You just said something that I think goes to a core of a lot of gamers. You just were talking about how a specific voice actor is in a game and how you enjoy his style and you think it's interesting that he's there and that you were more likely to get the game now because you found out that he's in it.
100%.
So there is a game that we have talked about before, and I'm referring to Destiny, where Peter Dinklage, the character from Game of Thrones, or the actor who plays in Game of Thrones,
Oh,
the
you've told me
short
about this.
guy,
Yeah.
how he voice acted one of the main parts of uh, Destiny's like companion character that's in the game. And while a lot of people gave him flack for his acting role in that, I enjoyed it. I thought it
Wasn't
was
he
unique.
playing an
I liked
AI?
Yeah, it was like a little robot over your shoulder that you
Yeah.
talk to, or he talks to you. So like I enjoy the character and his voice acting, and it was good. A lot of other people didn't. In the next update to Destiny, they removed him completely with Nolan. I can't remember Nolan's actual real name. Um, who's a very famous video game voice actor. So I was deterred that they removed Peter Dinklage. Now, maybe my liking of Peter Dinklage is mainly because of Game of Thrones.
You were
but
like, it's not Tyrion Lannister as an AI? Screw this.
Yeah. Like, and so in many ways, I'd like to just point out that, like, a lot of people don't care for his role. I did. I was deterred from the game because they removed him. I find it very interesting that a simple voice actor can have that big of an impact on the enjoyment or liking of a game or not. To the point
Yeah,
that
I never really thought about it.
would almost play into like dollar value. Like, you think about voice actors, like, yes, you want a good voice actor in there. You want somebody who's able to do
Yeah,
a
but it's
quality
not a
job.
make or break.
Correct, but in some cases, maybe it is.
I was very pleasantly surprised.
So, like, I mean, that's a thing. I just want
And
to point it
even
out.
I weirdly find like, because I generally care about gameplay, like, and that's it. You know, gameplay, graphics.
We have talked and hinted at this particular topic enough.
We'll
Like,
do it eventually.
eventually. It has
But
to be
like
a thing.
Hades, a big part of why I enjoyed Hades was that was the first game I've played in a very long time where the voice acting, I was like, this is so good. Like, I will not skip any voice lines in Hades because all of the voice acting is like absolutely killer.
Okay.
So when I started playing this, it very much has a similar thing where you do your levels, you do your run, then you come back to the main hub, you talk to different characters, you find gifts on the levels, and then you give them the gifts, and it unlocks the relationship meter, and you get a cutscene or dialogue or new missions. So the voice acting, and it's very sort of graphic novel style, where it'll have the character and then like their voice. And then, so it's not like a 3D character thing. It's just like a 2D animated character in a relatively still position or like slight animation effects, and then the voice. So the voice acting really has to be spot on. And this was a very weird indie game because it's like, oh, it's a speedrunning first-person card-based like parkour rogue, like it's all this weird stuff. And then you come in, the music is awesome. The music is really good. So I pop in, the music is funky, the art style is very cool, and then Steve Bloom, and I'm like, this game is way better put together than I thought it was going to be. So this is definitely like a day one purchase. When that day is going to be, is up in the air. I mean, unless it comes out like on top of Sunbreak or Splatoon. But it's good. If it was out for Switch, I would buy it. Like, no questions asked. The demo, weirdly enough, is only out on Steam. So
Okay.
there's no Switch demo. It's only Steam. So, and it's coming out for like all platforms, but
Yeah.
I don't know why there's no Switch demo. Maybe they still have to clean it up. That's the thing, though, is this needs to run flawlessly on Switch, or I will not get it on Switch. I will get it on Steam. And that kills me, because I'd rather have it on Switch,
Yeah.
because Nintendads. And I want to be able to, like...
Nintendads.
Yeah, but, like, this is a very... I can see this game getting very, very precise, and if there's frame drops or anything... And it doesn't seem like a graphically huge demanding game, so I think we'll be fine. But if it comes out on Switch and it's not up to snuff, that's an immediate deal breaker, because it's a tight... The controls are tight. It's not an RPG. It's not turn-based. It's like... Gotta be ready. I mean, Hades plays fine on Switch. If they can do it with Hades, they can do it with this.
Okay.
So, it's good. It's real good. Last and maybe least...
I would think this is a sour.
The Steam Deck came out. The Switch Killer. I'm pretty sure... So it's not available at retail. It's only available through...
Sorry, did you just say Switch Killer?
Yeah, that's what they've been calling it. The Steam Deck is a Switch Killer. Why would you have a Switch when you can have a gaming PC in your hand to play your Steam games?
Anyone who thought that the Steam Deck was going to be a Switch Killer was gravely mistaken.
Yeah, but that's how it's been talked up.
No. Just no.
So you have to log in when you go to this. It says log in for reservations. So like you have to be like a member, or like you have to like pre-order it. So like they're coming out, but it's not like... to me, this is like kind of like a soft launch.
Okay.
To me, this is them sussing out demand and performance issues to determine how many of this thing they're going to manufacture, because components are still pretty expensive and hard to find, and pretty much every piece of hardware Steam or Valve has ever produced has been a pretty decisive flop, right?
Okay.
They've done the what is it, the Steam box, that's like basically Steam meets Chromecast that you can like put on your TV, which I thought was cool but didn't really take off. Steam controller, I guess, is a good controller, but nobody I've ever heard ever owned it.
No, I don't know anybody who's that's in depth into it.
The Valve Index, which is their VR headset, I've heard great things, but it's just been crushed by Quest.
So, yet again, I've heard great things, and mainly the people who are using it are the people who have the money and have the computer to like go into that big of an endeavor, but like it is not something that like mainstream great deal amount of people have.
So
it's just not worth it.
I'm looking at an article from The Verge, which is just like a tech thing.
Yep.
And it says, Steam Deck review, it's not ready.
Like that says everything right there.
The review says, first, I'm having more fun with the Steam Deck than any gadget I've tested in years. Second, the Steam Deck is a mess. It's rushed, unfinished, buggy, unstable. If Valve sold the console I'd been playing at Best Buy or GameStop, people would return it in droves. So, yeah. Switch Killer.
Here?
Switch Killer. Switch Killer is dead on arrival. I wouldn't be losing sleep if I was Nintendo.
It was never going to be a Switch Killer.
I know, but so many people wanted it to be. So many people who just have it out for Nintendo were like, oh, nobody's going to buy a Switch after the Steam Deck comes out. Like, why? If you just play it, it's the same, but it has more games and it's going to be better. I will say, The one interesting thing about Steam Deck is if they somehow fix every issue that they're having, it could be an affordable alternative to PC gaming at a console price and a console sort of infrastructure. You've said before you appreciate consoles because you just turn them on, they're your games, you play them. Consoles definitely have an ease of use over PCs. If the Steam Deck can play PC games in a console style format and is more attuned to a console price point than a gaming PC price point, then I can see the Steam Deck having a place for people who want budget gaming PCs. Also, the fighting game community, every release that has come out for fighting games recently, PC is becoming the de facto main version because these new next-gen consoles have too much input delay, which is a whole nother conversation about why that's happening. But basically, the PC version of fighting games have been taking over, which is a huge problem because the competitive community needs to run events in person with the best version of the game. And it is very impractical to run an in-person tournament using PCs. Yes. Yeah. Now, if they had Steam Deck, little couple $100 solution, console price, if they can get it to run smoothly, I could see Steam Deck being the de facto, like, universal thing for fighting games. But I don't have a lot of faith that they're going to get it working smoothly and that it's going to get widely adopted enough that it's going to be the main thing. It's a possibility. It's a wish on a star, but I don't think so. I think, and especially now that Sony owns Evo, this is a whole, again, this is a very separate episode topic, but Sony has the FGC in their back pocket at this point. Like, there's no real competition.
One thing that I did hear about the Steam Deck was that the developers and the creators saying they would be willing to allow and build their platform so that Microsoft's Game Pass can be on their platform. That they are
cool.
They are in no position to want to do a game subscription service. Microsoft is becoming very successful with it. There's no reason why they can't make a partnership to allow that to happen. Now, I will say that's awesome. You can almost double or triple your game library just by that alone. So if they could pull that off, that could allow them to become the largest platform for mobile gaming.
Here's the main problem you're going to run in with that, because I agree with you. I think a mobile device, mobile gaming device that could run Game Pass would be game changing. The problem is the memory options on this thing. So the base Steam Deck is $400 and it comes with 64 gigs of memory, and that's it. My phone does it
have an SD slot for you to add more?
I don't know. But phones come with more memory.
Yeah.
You bump it up to $530 and you're up to 256 gigs, which is respectable. That can fit a couple games. But now you're in PS5 territory in terms of pricing. $650 you can get it up to 512 gigs.
That's
you can't play the new Forza game. You can't play Apex Legends on a 64 gig thing. You can't even play Genshin Impact on a 64 gig thing.
Genshin Impact, which is a phone mobile game, which I still don't know how. I'll be honest with you. I know it is. I know there's people who use it and play it. I love the game. It is redonkulously beautiful.
It's almost better that you can't get it to work on your phone.
Yes. It 100% is better that I can't get, because I would be at work. What do I do? Okay. And then the day disappeared.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so they got some stuff to figure out with Steam Deck, but it has been a rocky, soft launch so far. I mean, it's better than them producing like hundreds of thousands of units and them sitting on the store shelves and then them being like, crap, whoops.
I mean, yeah.
That's not good. I think that's the show, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it was a lot. It was a lot of sweet, a lot of sour. Took us over an hour.
it was a lot of good things.
Steam Deck ain't got no power.
It was very shocking. People are quite shocked when they find out that I'm not a qualified electrician.
I distinctly remember electrocuting yourself
As a young
and
man.
shorting out. Yeah, that I can't even tell the whole story behind that because it's too weird. It's impossible to explain. You had to be there.
It involves chicken meat. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. And that's really not as even, it's anyway. Some good stuff, some crappy stuff. Overall, it's pretty good. Overall, I feel pretty good about it. I mean, Evo, I don't really care about anymore. Pokemon, I'm on board. I'm on board with this new Pokemon. You know how long it's been since I've been excited about a Pokemon game pre-launch? I don't even know. I don't even know the last time I was excited about a Pokemon game before it came out.
I'm excited for the fact that there is a new Pokemon game. I don't know if I'm excited for this Pokemon game.
Why? It's gonna be Arceus 2. It's gonna be the mechanics of Arceus in a mainline game. What is there not to love?
That in itself implies that Arceus itself is not a mainline game.
It's not a mainline game. They said that. It's an offshoot. It's a separate... It's not a mainline game. It's not.
Yet again, reinforcing the idea that they did not have faith in it.
But that's fine. I'm okay with that. Because they used it as a guinea pig to test the new mechanics. The new mechanics worked. But you know what? They kind of didn't. Because there's no way they had time to see how Arceus was going to play out. And then make a decision on what they were going to do with this game.
I think they exactly had enough time. Because nobody saw this game coming.
No way. Because it's coming out this year.
Had they decided to delay it, they very well could have delayed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, if people were like, this new open world format sucks, then they could have just been like, well, nobody knows that we have a second open world format game that's basically done. Let's just push it back without telling anybody. Yeah, that's true.
They then could have then built a platform to then just put a layer on top of their open world platform that goes back to the traditional style.
Yeah, I guess so. I just hope that it's going to be like literally the same bones as Arceus, because it works. It works so hard.
I mean, it does.
It'll be interesting how they work in PvP. Oh, can you imagine if there's like co-op? Open world co-op?
See, now you got me interested.
Yeah, there's a lot of implications. All these things that mainline games have, like maybe this is going to be one of the first mainline games where you can go wherever you want. You don't have to do the gyms in order.
You have to, like Ash Ketchum, just come to the championship with X amount of badges.
Yeah.
Not in this particular... That would be interesting.
Open world and mainline, there's a lot of things that weren't in Arceus that are going to have to be compatible with open world in some way or another.
You could go to a gym battle, die mercilessly, and then go out into the world and know, I need to go and get this fire type Pokemon in order to be successful at this gym. Yeah.
And they are promoting the new game. Excuse me. They are promoting the new game as open world. Arceus, Arceus is open world, but it's like a little bit not open world. Because open world is Breath of the Wild. You can go wherever you want.
True.
Arceus, you have big open world areas, but you have to unlock them. You can't just go wherever you want, whenever you want.
Well, you unlock them in Breath of the Wild. You unlock them on the map.
But you can go there anytime you want.
Yeah.
It's open. There's no... This...
You also have a main town, a hub, that you have to go back to that is not in that open world. It is closed.
Yeah.
So, like, there's that.
So I'm wondering if the new Pokemon game will follow that format, and they're just going to call it open world, and everybody's going to kind of be like, we'll give you a pass because it's fun. Or if it's actually going to be open world. Like, really open. Wide open.
So, do you consider it an open world if you can see the other side of the bridge, but the bridge is out and you can't get to it?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you can get there, if you can figure out how to get there.
Yeah.
If you can do the necessary things to get there, because it's not like this, I would say Pokemon Arceus is similar to Monster Hunter in that you have a hub world, you pick where you want to go, you go. When you're there, it's open to you. I mean, Arceus is obviously a lot more open world than Monster Hunter, because it's all connected, it's one map. But you still have that gameplay loop of hub world, open area, versus real open world games are just open area, like the whole time.
Breath of the Wild, you literally can go everywhere.
Yeah, Genshin Impact, go wherever you want. Elden Ring. Should I get it? Video game decisions are hard. Although, if I think making the decision to get or not get Elden Ring is too difficult, I don't know how I'm going to do with the actual difficulty of the game. Maybe that's a sign that I should not get it. Corporal's like, I am gifting this to you on Steam because I want to see you suffer.
Suffer.
That would be a fun sub-goal. Or star goal.
A star goal?
It's like for every 1,000 stars, it goes towards the Elden Ring fund, and Corporal has to drink. All right, that's our show, folks. I will be back tomorrow with Monster Hunter. How about that? How you like that? That's the sweet and the sour sauce. I think I'm going to play Monster Hunter. I haven't played Monster Hunter in a while. I'm going to do Monster Hunter. You need to play more Monster Hunter. You are going to get slapped. You are going to be the piñata full of candy for the children if you do not get farther and rise before Sunbreaks come out.
I am almost at the point where I am willing to just let you play Monster Hunter.
By myself?
Yeah.
Fool!
I am too much invested into Genshin Impact that I actually enjoy.
A couple of weeks ago, it was, I'm too invested in Halo. This is the best campaign that I've ever accidentally beaten after a quarter of the amount of time I was supposed to be playing it.
I haven't even finished the campaign. I should go downstairs.
Knock yourself out on Genshin Impact, because when you're realizing that you have to pay $199 to unlock the new character.
No, I will literally go back to drinking on stream and collecting stars. I mean, that's almost as I will literally print out Facebook's rules and regulations and eat them on stream so that I can continue to progress.
Okay, I'm gonna just turn my camera off and be a viewer for that one. No accountability for me. I'm gonna make a fake Facebook account and load it up with stars. all right, everybody, that's the show. I will
Ladies
see you
and
on
gentlemen,
Tuesday.
thank you.
Wait. What are we streaming on Friday? Streets of Rage?
Streets of Rage? Where did that come from?
It came from .emu Games in France.
There's your dad joke, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Ugh.